What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the video. Make sure you leave a comment. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a video, and then we're going to discuss some of this stuff, right? I want you to watch this video and just think to yourself, like, how could any human beings treat someone like this, right? But when you walk into a prison, whether it's a state prison, whether it's a federal prison, you're like an enemy of the state, man. They look at you like, you know what? You're a real piece of shit. I'm here to do my job, but you know what? I think my job is also abusing you. I think my job is also inflicting punishment. Not with all people that work there, but a large majority. More than half, I can tell you that. I don't care if you're dealing with the chaplain. I don't care if you're dealing with the nurse. I don't care if you're dealing with the cops, the captain, the warden. You know, I've had wardens say, hey, man, step back when you talk to me, sir. Give me 3 feet. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, like, who are you, man, for real, right? Man, men respect men. Treat me with some respect the same way that I'm going to treat you. But it's not always that way. You've heard me talk before about Gerald at USP Lee. He was a cop that was, just off the chain, did some vicious things to other prisoners where the warden had to take him off the yard and put him somewhere else to work. But, today we're going to go inside Florida. We're going to go back inside that Florida Department of Corrections. And we're going to watch what these cops do to this man in his 60s. The man's like not wanting to go to work. So really what they do off camera is really they beat the hell out of this dude, man. They break his neck. They leave him in a cell for damn near a month. He's talking about, yo, man, I'm hurt. I'm hungry, man. They're not feeding him. They're mocking him. The nurse walks by. You're just trying to get a lawsuit. And they just do vicious things to people. This is another reason for you not to go to prison. Because when you go to prison, nobody can save you, man. Not your mother, not your father, not your wife, not your girlfriend, not your homeboys, not your gang. Nobody, man. You become a victim. You can easily become a victim. This could be you. Could you imagine being in prison and helpless? Where you can't get nothing, you can't get no help, and you're like, wow, I can't even move, man, and nobody will help me, man. Could you imagine what that feels like? It has to feel like being buried alive. Your stomach's touching your back, you're starving. And these people won't even take you to the hospital, man. They won't feed you, they won't take you to the hospital. And then eventually what happens is you expire. Your blood's left on the razor wire. Let's check out this video. But as you watch it, tell me what you think.
I assisted Sergeant Nettles in placing an inmate on the ground right here. At this time, the inmate's refusing to walk to go to medical for his post-use of force physical and pre-confinement. Got a wheelchair on the way. Sergeant Scott, he may need your assistance, sir.
3:33 a.m.
Yep. Don't let it fall out. Don't let it fall out. He's in his wheelchair and he's saying his feet ain't working. Lean forward a little bit. Lean forward. Forgiveness. Where it going? I cannot move. You don't need to move right there. Please give me back. Please. You get the reading on your hand. The longer you want, the longer it's going to take. All right. You keep moving because blood pressure is referialized.
Ridley, I'm going to uncuff you, okay? Once you put your hands in front of you after I uncuff you, okay? Get you to lean forward. So I can get your hands.
No, that's too far. I can't foot. That's too far forward, man. Can you push me back a little bit more?
Gotta get to your hand.
Sarge, can you move my head to the left?
Oh, hell, nothing wrong.
Jesus Christ. Stop.
Officers took Ridley to confinement, where he sat for 5 days, paralyzed and unable to move, with other inmates begging staff to help him. Trays of food piled up. Finally, an officer decided Ridley should go to an outside hospital. He was intubated and fell into a coma. A month later, he died. A medical examiner ruled the case a homicide. The causes of death were listed as blunt impact to the head and neck, a major spinal cord injury, and complications of quadriplegia, the paralysis of all 4 limbs. No charges were brought against any officer.
You think about that for a minute. What is it like to be in prison? What is it like to be in a place where you have no control? What is it like to be in a place where nobody cares about you? What is it like to be in a place where your mother and your father can't come save you? Your mother and your father can't call up there and be like, hey, take my son to the hospital. He's dying. Your girlfriend, your wife. You're in an environment where no one really cares. You're in an environment where, on many occasions, many occasions, the police don't care about you. They don't care if you live. They don't care if you die. And, they got this tight-knit community. All them cops that work in them places, they're all from the same area. They all grew up together. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The prisons are always in the middle of nowhere in the boondocks. You think they're going to go tell on their partner, their cousin's friend? Hell no. They're going to think they're going to tell on their uncle's wife. The nurse don't care. The chaplain don't care. The police don't care. Shouldn't say chaplain, but a lot of times they don't even care. They're employees, man. They're employees. And the job is what? Safety and security of the facility first. Sometimes, man, they're like, man, look, man, Jesus said this, but we're doing this over here. Yeah, all right. But anyway, I said I'd talk a little bit about Gerald and some of the things that I've witnessed, some of the things that I've seen. USP Lee, we're in the shoe. And you hear this dude screaming, hey, Marcelli's having a seizure. And everybody's like, what? People are calling over. What cell? Cell 13, man, I need some help. Everybody starts kicking the door. They're screaming for the cop. This is going on for 10, 15 minutes. Help, help. No cops to be found. We're in the hole. When you're in the hole, man, that's the last place you want to be when you really need help. Because now you're in jail inside of the jail, right? Now you're back there. You ain't got no way of getting out. You ain't got no way of communicating with no one. You can't just walk away and be like, hey, look, man, my boy right here, he's having a seizure. He needs help. Or, hey, my homeboy just fell off the top bunk. None of that. You're just there. You're at the mercy of who? The mercy of the cops, the mercy of the staff at the prison. And if they don't feel like doing rounds, they don't do them. They have to walk and do rounds. They're supposed to do them, every 15 minutes? And they got to sign a book. You might not see these people for 2 hours. And then they'll come sign the book. What do you think they sign? They signed for all that time. All the times that they were supposed to be there signing, they just signed them all at one time, right down the line, as if they were doing their rounds. So anyway, man, dude's screaming for help. Finally, Gerald comes up to the front of the tier, and he yells down, what's up? He's like, hey, Marcelli's having a seizure. He says the same thing. What cell? Cell 13. Cell 13, CO. 13. Yeah, all right. Hey, put that D in him. Put that D. You know what that means, right? The dizzle. You said put that D in him. He'll be all right. Are you serious right now? This man's flopping around, hit his head on the bed, had a seizure. He's epileptic, whatever. He's got issues. And the police don't care, man. He's told him to put that D in him and just left him there, man. Left him there for hours. And eventually the nurse comes up there when they do their little pill line. Dude's like, hey, man, Marcelli had a seizure. The kid's cut open. They take him out of the cell. They take him over to medical. They check his stuff out. I think they stitched him up. Oh, man, someone should have came, but don't worry about it. And now, yeah, what do you want to do? You want to file a lawsuit? Go ahead. No one called us. We didn't know. We didn't hear anything. We did our rounds. They never said anything. Who do you think the court's going to believe? They're going to believe him that he went and did his rounds. You think they're going to do some big investigation and watch the tape to make sure he really did his rounds? They don't do none of that stuff, man. They don't care about you. There was another incident with Gerald where he had beat one of the prisoners up on the compound, right? Beat up a white prisoner. White prisoners out there getting drunk. Back then, a lot of white dudes used to get drunk. I ain't going to lie to you. They're out there getting drunk. They're having a good old time, enjoying life. Dude gets a little bit out of hand. What the hell was this kid's name? Speedy? I forgot his name, man. He was from Montana or something. They're out there. They end up beating him up, man. They take him off the yard. They beat him up. People are seeing him beat him up from the yard. They slam him on his head. Face is all messed up. Blood everywhere. And they carry him, man. They hog-tied this dude. Imagine being hog-tied in prison. They take you down to your cell down in the shoe, and they just throw you in the cell, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Sober up. Sober up. Just beat the hell out of me, man. You want me to sober up? Are you serious right now? Sober up. I've seen it done. So the next day, man, all the white dudes get together, and they're like, nah, man, we ain't going for that. We're pissed off. Everybody's on the yard. Everybody goes out to the yard. There's one time when I seen everybody come together. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, they're together, right? They demand to see the warden. We want the warden over here. We want the warden over here now. Get the warden. They send the warden in. The warden comes out on the yard with the captain. What's the problem? Man, this is what this dude's been doing. He's been beating people up. Yo, something's going to have to change. We're going to make something happen. We're going to pop off. And the warden's like, okay, guys. He's seen that this was starting to get serious, that the cops were getting out of control, that the cops were, walking around at times and just punching people in the face just for living. Punching people in the face just for living. Are you serious? That was their approach. Man, you're a prisoner, man. We don't care about you. No one cares about you. It used to be like that all the time everywhere. Punching people in the face, kicking people, jumping on them. And the warden says, all right, man, I'm going to fix it. We're going to take them off the compound. They take them off the compound. They put them in the back, put them in the shoe. I think sometimes they had them on the patrol, roving around the prison. But these are the people that you're around. That's how they compromised before there was a full-fledged riot. People were mad. People were upset. There's always potential, man. All it takes for a riot in prison is a spark. There's plenty of gasoline. All you have to do is spark it. That was on the verge of sparking over that column. Then eventually, I've seen plenty of things happen in there, but I'll talk a little bit about this place in Lexington, Kentucky. We got this little dude, he's a drug addict. He's always smoking deuce. He's probably 125 pounds soaking wet, 5'4", 5'5". He's up there. He lives on crack alley. He's always up there, hustling, trying to do whatever he can. And a cop approaches him while he's doing a round. This cop's actually doing a round. He's like, hey, man, what do you got in your hand? He catches him smoking this. He's like, man, I ain't got nothing. Holding his hand. I ain't got nothing, sir. Yeah, oh, you got something. Let me see what's in your hand. And the cop reaches and tries to grab him. Wants to know what's in his hand, right? Really no reason to grab him. Maybe you can call some assistance or something. So the cop grabs him. The kid yanks back. What do you think the cop does? I'm right there. I live one cell away. Stop resisting. I hear that. I look out the door, right? Stop resisting. He's screaming, stop resisting, and he's putting the kid in a chokehold, man. Taking the kid to the ground. Then he starts yelling, don't punch me. Don't punch me. This is the cop. Man, this dude's not punching this dude. He's just yelling, don't punch me. Don't punch me. Other cops are coming. One of the first people to respond is this redhead chick. She's the secretary. She gets up there. They take the kid to the ground, and she's on top of him now. She's pounding this kid, man. Remember, this kid's 125 pounds soaking wet. Punching him in the ribs. Boom, boom. And now he's yelling, ah, ah. This kid looks like one of these dudes that you see out here, man, on the avenue that's been getting high for 2 weeks and ain't slept. And they're just pulverizing this kid. More cops are coming. More cops are coming. And more. Then I see a cop on the bed, like jumping on the dude's legs, man. And then they tell me, hey, get the fuck out of here. Get up. I'm like, all right, man, no problem. I'm out of here. And, sometimes, man, that's the position that you're in, where you got to walk away. I'm in a low security prison. And I hate to say this, but sometimes, man, dudes put themselves in, in positions where, these people can victimize you, man. And I always tried to avoid that because at the end of the day, I use this. And I would always think, man, look, I'm in a no-win situation. There's been times in my life, man, where I've been hit by the police, man. I've been hit by the police. That was when I was younger, when I was in New York State prison. I'll never forget it. I get in a little fight on the rec yard. We're playing football. I get in a fight with this Native American kid. They take us to the hole. I go to the hole. When I get to the hole, this lieutenant's down there, right? He's down there. They tell him, hey, bring him out. I had already been punched in the stomach by this lieutenant one time because someone in my cell, we had like a 4 or 5 man rooms. They weren't really cells. He was making fun of the cop. The cop's name was Wargula. I'll never forget him. And he used to talk real funny. It's count time. Everybody count time. And one of my cellmates was making fun of this dude. Made fun of Wargula about his voice. So the dude ends up writing us up some bullshit write-ups, some bullshit shots. They call us down to the lieutenant's office down in the basement. One of my roommates goes down there. Back then, I think he was probably a cho. Now that I'm older and I know what that stuff is, he goes down there, he comes back, he's like, man, he punched me. And I'm like, damn, man, he punched you. They call the next guy down. He was an older dude named Jeff. Jeff came back. He's like, man, he hit me, man. He hit me. And this guy was like a grown-ass man in there for DWI, the dude Jeff. I'll never forget him. Oh, goofy-ass dude. Looked like he could have been on King of the Hill. But anyway, he comes back up. He's, and I'm like, damn, man. I go down there. The man punches me in the stomach. Ooh. Remember when you got hit when you were younger, man, or you fell off a fence and you lost your air? You start to panic, like, this man punched me so hard, man, I lost my breath. And I figured things are over with, man. Dude punched me, man. I'm 17 years old in New York State prison. The man punches me in the stomach. All right, man, I'm going to let it go. What else can I do? If I fight back, and back then they'd kill you in New York State. They still will. They still will, even though there's a lot of scrutiny on them. So later on, man, I end up in the hole. That lieutenant walks by and he sees me. He tells him to go get me. Go get Marks and bring him down here. They take me into the little room where they give you your property, New York State prison, when you go to the hole, down there for fighting this Native American kid. And he pretty much tells me, oh, you ain't learned your lesson, huh? You like fighting at my prison? I'm like, what do you mean like fighting at your prison? I said, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Gives me 3 gut shots, man. I'm just 17 years old, man. Punches me. They had me handcuffed behind my back. Punches me. Nothing I can do, man. I go back to the cell. In all my life, I thought about this dude, man. I never forgot what this dude did to me. And of course, while I was in prison, I'm like, man, when I get out, I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna find this dude, and I'm gonna. But at the end of the day, man, I was the loser. There's no wins. You got no wins, man, when you're on that side of the fence. Of course, your family might be able to sue like this man's family's gonna sue. They're gonna get paid all kinds of money, but he's gone. I don't want to die. I want to die so that my family can sue these people. Definitely not. Then I had another incident. I had a parole violation, right? Back in the day. I go to Elmira Correctional Facility. I'm in Elmira, and, I'm coming from the street. I'm out here getting money. I'm arrogant. I think I'm that dude. Go into the kitchen, man. I'm like, man, every time we come in here, man, the cups are all filthy, man. This shit needs to be clean, this and that. I'm talking shit, acting like I'm not a prisoner. I forgot, man, where I was at. Dude tells me, hey, man, come here, man. Step outside. I don't even get to eat. Step outside the chow hall with me. I step outside the chow hall. He cuffs me behind my back. And now there's another lieutenant. I think his name was Kalicki. Never forget him. I think. That was his name. Kalicki. Was it Sergeant Kalicki or Lieutenant Kalicki? I'm reading this thing tag. He's talking, man, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Huh? Who do you think you are? And he slapped me, man. Bang! I'm like, damn, man. Damn. You want to talk about going from arrogant to being humble? And I know in that moment that they'll kill you in there. They will definitely kill you. New York State prison, they will beat you to death, man. I had to suck that one up. I had to chalk that one up. Don't have a dirty mind when I said the word suck it up. I'm talking about the punch, the slap. I had to accept that, man. I had a 90-day violation, man. I just let another grown man slap me. I just came from the street where, I thought I was a gangster, and I let this man slap the shit out of me. That's what prison is. State prison, federal prison. This is the position that you could be in, man. Lesson to be learned, man. What is the lesson? The lesson is, man, don't put yourself in that environment. Because once you're in that environment, no one can help you. If you are paralyzed and you're like, damn, man, I'm suffering, man, I need help. They're like, yeah, sure you are, man. You swung at the captain. Sure I did. That's what they put in the record. Most of the time, none of that shit's true. But anyway, man, I hope you enjoyed this one. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. With respect, until tomorrow, we're out.